Next point is Fleming left hand rule. Fleming left hand rule is used to find out force produced inside the conductor. As we have seen that principle of DC motor, it states that whenever a current carrying conductor placed in the magnetic field, force produced inside the conductor. So Fleming left hand rule states that if we stretch left hand fingers, first thumb indicates the direction or the motion of the conductor. First finger indicates direction of magnetic field. Second finger indicates the direction of current. Consider two poles, N pole and S pole. In between two poles, armature is present. So here I have marked dot and cross sign. The conductor under N pole having a conductor under N pole having cross sign and conductor under S pole having a dot sign. So here dot and cross represents the direction of current flowing inside the conductor. So cross represents the current is going to inside the conductor and dot means current is coming out from the conductor. To understand the sign convention dot and cross, we consider one example. Consider this is the wall and arrow. If we observe from this point, this arrow is going inside the wall. So this cross represent the arrow is going inside the wall. In DC motor case, we consider cross is the current is going inside the conductor. Consider this example, that is second case. The arrow is coming out from the wall. So the tip of the arrow represents the dot and dot indicates that current is coming out from the conductor. So once again I am repeating, cross represent current going to inside the conductor. Current is going to inside the conductor and dot represent current coming out from conductor. Coming out from the conductor. These are the two sign convention is used in DC motors. Now we will see voltage and power equation of the DC motor. As we have studied that the back EMF is opposite to the supply voltage. Now the net voltage appear across the armature is calculated by VA is equal to V minus EB. Here VA is the net voltage appear across armature, V is the applied voltage and EB is the back EMF. Now we can calculate armature current equation. It is given by IA is equal to V minus EB divided by RA. So this is the equation of armature current. From this equation we can calculate the voltage equation of the DC motor and it is given by V is equal to EB plus IRA. Now consider this is the equation number 1. If we multiply this voltage equation by IA, we get another equation, that is this equation. Mark second equation, and when we multiply IA, we get V into IA is equal to EB into IA plus IA square RA. Here V into IA represents the armature input, EB into IA represents the armature output, and IA square RA represents the copper loss in the armature. So this is the voltage and power equation of the DC motor. Next point is torque equation of DC motor. Torque is defined as turning or twisting moment of force about axis, and it is the product of force into radius. Consider a pulley having R is the radius measured in meter and N is the speed. Torque is the product of force into radius measured in Newton meter. When force produced on the pulley, a pulley starts rotating and it completes its one revolution. After completing the one revolution, the work done is calculated as force into distance. Force is denoted by letter F and distance is calculated as when force producing on pulley, it completes its one revolution, and this distance is nothing but the circumference of the circle, and circumference of the circle is 2 pi r. So the equation becomes F into 2 pi r. Now we are going to calculate power developed in a pulley. So it is calculated as F into 2 pi r multiplied by N measured in watt. So in this equation, F and R both terms are collected together and remaining term is 2 pi N measured in watt. So here 2 pi N is the angular velocity measured in omega and F into R is the torque. So power developed in pulley is calculated as P is equal to T into omega, where T is the nothing but the product of force into radius and omega is the 2 pi N. If the value of the if the speed is measured in RPM, angular velocity is calculated as 2 pi N divided by 60. So value of omega is used in the previous equation, that is P is equal to T into omega. Now the equation becomes P is equal to 2 pi N divided by 60 into T. So we can simplify this equation. After simplifying, we get P is equal to 2 pi divided by 60 into NT. Further we can simplify, we get P is equal to NT divided by 9.55. So this is the power developed in the pulley. Now we can see next part of this equation. There are two ways to calculate the power developed in an armature. So the power developed armature is calculated as EB into IA, that is output of the armature, and it is also calculated as T into omega, as we have seen in previous slide. So we can equate the both equation, that is T into omega is equal to EB into IA. So T into omega, value of omega is 2 pi N divided by 60 is equal to, the value of EB is calculated as P phi NZ divided by 60 into IA. 60 and N both terms are cancelled and we can calculate the value of TA, that is a torque produced in DC motor, and it is calculated as TA is equal to 1 divided by 2 pi multiplied by phi ZIA into P by A. Further this equation is simplified, we get TA is equal to 0.159 into phi ZIA into P by A. From this equation we can calculate as from this equation we can find out TA is directly proportional to the phi into Ia. In DC shunt motor, equation becomes TA is directly proportional to phi into Ia, and in series motor TA is directly proportional to the Ia square.
Seen the equation of torque, and it is calculated as TA is equal to 0.159 phi Z Ia into P by A. There is one alternate equation of armature torque. It is given by TA is equal to 9.55. Write down TA is equal to 9.55 EB into Ia divided by N. Now there is one concept. It is called as a shaft torque. It is represented by TSH, and it is defined as torque which is available at the motor shaft for doing useful work is known as a shaft torque. The total torque TA developed in the armature of the motor is not available at the shaft because it is the loss in iron and friction loss. So some part of the torque is used for overcoming iron and friction loss, and shaft torque is calculated as TSH is equal to 9.55 into iron and friction loss divided by N. The iron and friction loss is calculated as TA minus TSH. Iron and friction loss is calculated as TA minus TSH. There is one alternate equation for shaft torque, and it is calculated as TSH is equal to 9.55 into output in watts divided by N. Now we are going to see concept of BHP, that is brake horsepower. It is defined as the horsepower developed by the shaft torque is known as a brake horsepower. It is given by 2 pi n TSH divided by 60 into 746. BHP is equal to 2 pi n TSH divided by 60 into 746. Now we see formula of useful output power. It is given by 2 pi n TSH divided by 60 into 746. Both formulas are same, but in exam sometimes they ask find out the useful output power, use the same formula. If they ask find out the BHP, use the same formula.
Next point is torque and speed of the DC motor. For any motor, torque and speed both are the important factor. Now we will see basic formula regarding torque and speed. First formula is N is directly proportional to EB, inversely proportional to phi, and TA is directly proportional to phi into Ia. From equation number 1, if we decrease the value of flux, speed will be increases because flux and speed both are inversely proportional. When we decrease the value of flux, torque will be decreases because torque and flux both are directly proportional. But this is not possible. When speed increases, at that time torque must be increases. When consider equation number 2, that is TA is directly proportional phi into Ia. When flux decreases, at that time to balance this product, motor will draw
additional armature current from supply, and after increasing armature current, torque will be increases. In case of back EMF, we have seen that when we put heavy load on machine, at that time speed will decreases, after EB decreases, after armature current will increases, after torque will increases. After some time, increase in torque, speed of the DC motor will increases slightly. So this is the relation between torque and speed in DC motor.
Next point is DC motors characteristic. First characteristic is torque and armature current characteristic. It is also known as the electrical characteristic of the motor. Second characteristic is speed armature current characteristic. This characteristic is used for selection of motor for different application. Third characteristic is speed torque characteristic. It is also known as a mechanical characteristic. Next point is characteristic of DC shunt motor. This is the diagram of DC shunt motor. Here the field winding is connected parallel with the armature. First characteristic is torque armature current characteristic. We know one equation in DC motor, that is TA is directly proportional to the phi into Ia. In DC shunt motor, field winding is connected parallel with the supply voltage, so the value of phi is almost constant. Now the equation becomes TA is directly proportional to the Ia. From this equation, we understand this characteristic, that is, as we increase the value of armature current, the torque of the motor will increases. So this characteristic is passing from the origin. So TA represents the armature torque, TSH represents the shaft torque. There is one difference between armature torque and shaft torque because of iron and friction losses. And the relation between torque and armature current is directly proportional. Now we will see next characteristic, speed armature current characteristic. We know one equation in DC motor, N is directly proportional to EB and inversely proportional to the phi. The flux and the back EMF in DC shunt motor is almost constant under the normal operation. When we increase the load on the motor, first effect is when we increase the load on the motor, its speed decreases, EB decreases, and armature current increases. So this characteristic states that as we increase the value of armature current, the speed of the motor is slightly decreases, because the speed of the DC motor is almost constant from no load to full load. Therefore, the speed of the DC motor is slightly reduces. Third characteristic is speed torque characteristic. The relation between torque and armature current is directly proportional to armature current. So this characteristic, that is speed torque characteristic, is similar to the speed armature current characteristic. As we increase the value of speed, or the speed of the motor is increases, the torque of the motor is slightly reduces. Next point is characteristic of the DC series motor. First characteristic is torque armature current characteristic. In DC series motor, field winding is connected in series with the armature. Therefore, current flowing through the series field winding, that is ISC, current flowing through the armature winding, and line current, these three currents having same magnitude. We know one equation in DC motor, that is TA is directly proportional to the phi into Ia. Here the value of phi is replaced by Ia because of the series connection. The magnitude of three currents that is line current, armature current and series field winding currents are same. Therefore, the equation becomes TA is directly proportional to the Ia square. From this equation, we understand the characteristic between torque and armature. This characteristic has two parts from O to A. This is the up to saturation characteristic. It follows TA is directly proportional to the Ia square. And second part is from A to B. It follows TA is directly proportional to the Ia, that is after saturation characteristic. So the relation between torque and armature current from O to A is TA is directly proportional to the Ia square, that is before saturation, and after the saturation the characteristic is TA is directly proportional to the Ia. Now we will see speed armature current characteristic. Speed of the DC series motor is directly proportional to the EB, inversely proportional to the phi. When we increase the load on the motor, first effect is speed decreases, EB decreases, magnitude of armature current is increases, and loss in series field winding and armature winding is increases. So the relation between speed and armature current is inversely proportional. That is, when speed increases, as the speed increases, magnitude of armature current is decreases. When speed decreases, magnitude of armature current is increases. Now we will see next characteristic, that is speed torque characteristic. This characteristic states that at low speed the motor will produce high starting torque. Low speed motor produces high torque. This is because in DC series motor, magnitude of line current, armature current and current flowing through the series winding is same. Therefore, the torque equation becomes TA is directly proportional to the Ia square. Therefore, torque of the motor is increases at low speed. Now we will see characteristic of cumulative compound motor. Cumulative compound motor has two winding. First one is the series field winding, second one is the shunt winding. Therefore, total flux is calculated as phi SH plus phi AC. Therefore, when load increases on motor, armature current is increases. Therefore, current flowing through the series field winding is increases. Therefore, series flux is increases. But current flowing through the shunt field winding remains same. Therefore, phi SH is constant. So total flux is increases. Torque equation is given by TA is directly proportional to the phi into Ia. Total flux is increases. Therefore, torque of the DC motor is increases. From this equation, we understand this characteristic, that this is the characteristic of the cumulative compound motor and this is the characteristic of the DC shunt motor. From this characteristic, we know the torque of the DC compound motor is higher than DC shunt motor. Now we will see next characteristic, that is speed armature current characteristic. Speed is inversely proportional to the flux. In case of DC compound motor, that is cumulative compound motor, when load increases, at that time armature current is increases. Due to increase in armature current, current flowing through the series field winding is increases. Therefore, phi AC is increases, that is series field winding flux is increases, and phi SH is constant. Therefore, total flux is increases. Therefore, phi t is the total flux is increases, and speed of the motor is inversely proportional to the phi. When phi is increases, at that time speed of the DC compound motor is decreases. When load increases, at that time armature current is increases, at that time speed of the motor is decreases. So therefore, speed regulation of DC cumulative compound motor is poor than DC shunt motor. Now we will see next characteristic, that is speed torque characteristic. For given armature current, the torque of cumulative compound motor is more than DC shunt motor, but it is less than DC series motor. The relation between torque and speed is inversely proportional. When the speed of the motor is higher, at that time torque is less. When torque is higher, at that time speed of the motor is slightly decreases.